Can you guys hear me? Is my audio clear? All right. Just setting up my mic. Sorry about that. I didn't check my audio and video uh, before starting the live, so I think there was quite some time. The back skin has happened and I couldn't do anything. Thank God I realized quickly before 5 minutes and I was just correcting now. Hope now everything is clear. Okay, let me start again. Hello everyone, welcome to unannounced live session in my channel. Sorry for not giving a prior notice to join. As I'm in US and I'm slowly into winter season, my health or my family health is not quite well, so I was not able to put lot of spiritual content on my channel. Similarly, I was not able to spend more time seeking spirituality or learning new things. The content has slowly delayed. I was posting every now and then some shorts and all. But this live session, I would like to take this time of live session dedicated to know more about some Zen stories and put some sanity in my head and check my understanding levels or thinking levels or how my thoughts are. That's what is all about spirituality, checking ourselves constantly, checking our path we are taking constantly and correct it every now and then. So there are a lot of messages on my channel asking which way is correct or which kind of spirituality is correct. I don't think I have that much experience, or even though I have, I don't want to say this is correct or this is wrong. That is beyond our judgment, and I think we shouldn't be judging anyone, is what I have learned in this spiritual journey, if I have to say that frankly. I mean, you need to be an observer, observe as much as you can, and just flow along, is what I would say. That being said, there are a lot of Zen stories which I've been posting on my channel. One was like a young monk and an empty boat, which a lot of people saw, and hope you get the inner details of the story. Similarly, today I want to discuss more Zen stories with you all, and uh, stay connected with my spiritual journey. So that being said, whenever I want to stay connected spiritually, I would like to watch some monastery videos where people do their daily activities, daily mundane things, I would say, with so much mindfulness involved, rather than me juggling in the early morning, running after things, chasing for things. Looking at their videos, I feel so serene, so calm, and with full intent, full mindfulness. There is no other. Looking at them, I feel like they doesn't have any other thoughts running in their mind, or there is no one chasing them to do certain things. Is one thing I feel, and the other thing is a very much disciplined, a very well maintained, timed activities, the way they get up and go throughout the surroundings for food, or the way they clean surrounding things, and the voluntary activities. It involves a lot of discipline. I kind of felt our mind is such a disciplined thing, or otherwise, or is it someone controlling the mind to do the things in that way? That is something that bothered me. Apart from that, while seeking spirituality, I felt much connected to spirituality by reading lot of books and lot of Zen stories, which are kind of crisp, and it is like just a slap on your face to do what is necessary in any given situation. So that's the reason I wanted to learn more Zen stories, or you know give priority to Zen stories, how a Zen master think and how a regular person think, because there is a clear, concise clarity of a Zen master which I am lacking. I would say I am lacking. I don't want to say normal people are lacking, because I don't want to judge people, uh, because I see myself sometimes lacking that, uh, what we say, lacking that clarity in that given situation. Maybe in the later point I will have that clarity, because my mind is not in that box. Once I'm out of the box, I feel I am more thinking straight, kind of thing. So that being said, the main intention of this live today is to um, see and go over, understand and talk a lot about, lot on Zen stories. So let us start with the story. These Zen stories are so interesting that each Zen story has a name or a title to it, and a very good detailed description, um, which definitely is apt for the story. So, the first story is The Lost Horse. The Lost Horse is the Zen story, the very first Zen story I want to talk today. And uh, so the Lost Horse story. This story is going to be in China. In China, there was a man who has a horse in his house, and that horse ran away from his house. His neighbor said it's very, I mean, horse is seen as a lucky thing. Even lot of people I see um, in in my surroundings also think like the horse uh, they tattoo the horseshoe um, in the symbol of good luck. So maybe that's the reason all the neighbors of this man who is in China told it is very unfortunate, and little bit they gave unlucky vibes too. Then the man replied, maybe so, maybe not. Few days, I mean, he was not completely saying it is unlucky or lucky. He said maybe or maybe not kind of thing. Maybe he is lucky, maybe he is not lucky. That kind of vibe he was giving. Few days later, the horse returned, bringing with it another wild horse. So the moment that horse came and that it got with the other new horse, all the neighbors said, how fortunate. Again, the man replied, maybe so or maybe not. Later, the man's son tried to ride one of the wild horses, and he'd break his leg. Maybe he's small, he is not that trained on the horse or something like that. Then again, the neighbor said how unfortunate it is. And again, the man, as usually, replied, maybe so or maybe not. A few weeks later, a soldier came through the village. He's a soldier, he's coming back from the war. Because of his broken leg, the man's son was not drafted. Neighbor said, how fortunate. Just like, I mean, going to war involves a lot of uncertain conditions, right? Then all the neighbors said like how unfortunate it is. How fortunate it is for his kid. I mean, there are parents who think going to war is good. There are parents who think serving a country is good, and there are some parents thinking why me when there are a lot of other people in this world. So then, as he broke his leg riding a wild horse, his son was not drafted to the uh, war zone. So then, again, the man replied in the same way, maybe so or maybe not. So, uh, so I felt this person, the man who is the father of the son, is so Zen kind of mentality where he was very stable no matter how the condition flipped uh, on him, are you know the conditions are a very much uh, you know has two sides of a coin kind of thing. Sometimes at that moment when the horse left ran from his house, it felt like bad and sad, but when it came back with the other one, it was double the happiness. That means it is very hard to judge um, the full consequences for a given event. What seems like a misfortune may lead to something better, or what seems good might lead to something bad over a period of time. So this story really cultivates a perspective of equanimity, seeing life's flow without judgment. It is um, uh, so the stories really moved me, um, and it also really think through any situation. You should not be wavering to call it as a good situation, or to judge it as a good situation, or to judge it as a bad situation. I don't know how many of you agree with me. It was, if I was in the that man's place in the first place, maybe I was very spurious in that moment, and I was very kind of in that moment person where I get super excited for something good, for very small little things. And if something bad happens similarly, I would go devastated. So definitely there is a lot of takeaway from this story, The Lost Horse. Hope you guys like this story. I just want to quickly check on the audio in the video. I kind of doubt, like I'm not seeing anything on this live, whether the live is still going on or something is there. I will be back just in a moment, okay? Just checking my audio and video connection from the other device. Just checking. All right, I think it is looking good. Um, so that's the story of The Lost Horse. I hope I felt like my audio is a little bit low. I'll try to increase the volume. But the first story, the starting story, was really, really amazing, and I really love it. If you are watching this video and if you like this Zen story, please do comment The Lost Horse. Thank you. And let's move on to the next story called The Moon Can't Be Stolen. There was a Zen master whose name is Hari. He was walking with his discipline uh, when they encountered a beggar asking for food. So there was a beggar, and Hari was walking uh, in a very disciplined manner. I mean, we all have certain body ethics when we are around certain people. So Hari handed the beggar some food, and the beggar responded, "You may feed my body, but you cannot feed my soul." Hari smiled and said, "The moon is reflected in the lake. You may attempt to take it, but you can never steal it." Wow, it's a nice story. Yeah, I love moon definitely. I just want to say one thing about moon. I don't know how many of you or know or doesn't know. I'm just saying because while I am in this live, it is a full moon day yesterday or day before, and the moon during the full moon day, there they say like we have the very high energies, and when you meditate or when you seek spirituality during this time, you will receive enormous amount of energy and the vibes into your body. Just want to say, because this Jen story is very much connected to moon, and I felt like sorry, sharing this story. So when Hari said like the moon, when it is falling on the lake or river front or even on the beach, you feel like you're touching it, you're feeling it, you're close to it, but and sometimes you also feel like you're taking it, but you cannot. You might take it, but you cannot steal it. So the story here reflects the Zen view that the true essence of things can't be grasped or taken away. Just as the moon's reflection is transient image, the nature of reality can be experienced but never possessed or controlled by the ego. So, so when he is offering the food, the body's action or the body's tendency, the body need food for its survival. You're not taking food for your soul or something like that. So you need to definitely take care of your body and soul. I completely agree, soul is the main thing, but body is equally important. We need to provide required nutritions to the body, and definitely you need to continue your survival and progress your soul, seeking spirituality or whatever path we take. The body is also equally important. The beggar, while Hari is offering food to the beggar, he was denying it, saying with an ego that you can't feed my soul. I mean, the soul requirements are completely different, but while you're begging, your body is your primary focus. So the the things, certain things you cannot be controlled with your ego is what this story is telling about. And yeah, this is a story, one of the story. And let's move on to the third story, the sound of one hand clapping. So there was this person whose name is John. He was he once went to a great Zen master. He went to the Zen master and he was desperately asking about this question: what is the sound of one hand clapping? So the Zen master replied, the wind in the pines. So the wind in the pines. This story really invites us to think beyond duality, like one hand and clapping. It suggests that reality is not a matter of clear opposites, but rather than an integrated experience where even what seems paradoxical can make sense when approached from a different perspective. So clapping with one hand is seems like impossible, uh, but it can be achieved from a different perspective. That's what the reply from the Zen master means. It's it's kind of little hard for me to understand, to be honest. But I don't want to. I would like to see if anybody can elaborate this more. And let's move on to the next one, the tiger's footprints. Oh, this is really interesting. The tiger's footprint. So once there is this man, he is really having quite a life. I mean, he's having a lot of ups and downs, lot of you know sad moments, happy moments, and a lot of things going on with him. Then he reached out to a master, and he observed the master a lot of days, and he saw the master is not carrying anything with him, like any strong emotions, I would say, with him. And the master So the person who is having lot of emotions with him reached the master and asked this question: what is the meaning of life? I guess and I hope a lot of people will have such kind of questions as we grow older, not in the early teens or before that. We might not get such kind of questions, but once you hit your magical numbers, definitely we will go through these questions called what is meaning of life. The master responded, it's a footprints of a tiger. So sometimes i I kind of laugh with the answers the Zen master provide. They're satirical, they're little bit tingy, which will pinch you kind of thing. But the answer, when the monk asked the master what is the meaning of the life, he responded, footprints of a tiger. It's really hard for the monk to understand. First of all, understanding the meaning of life is hard for him. Understanding what footprints of tiger is even more hard, and he need to break his head. Then he asked, what is that? The master then smiled and said, tiger has no footprints. So um, I felt, I am interpreting that the master's answer for the meaning of life is to say that the meaning of life is so uh, you know it is to stay in truth. I mean, if he says some meaning to the life that might fit from the other people perspective or might not fit into the other person's perspective, uh, so that's the reason he wanted to say uh, nothing kind of thing. So he introduced this tiger's footprint or something like that. So when you try to grasp uh, conventional means, it will slip away. Footprints are there, but they are not footprints. This is the paradox of seeking answers in the realm of Zen. That is what I always see in this Zen stories. When the Zen master answers the question, it is very hard to capture the answer, just like in the previous question as well. Um, and there is one, hope we have completed 3 or 4 stories. If somebody joined a little late, please do refer my, just go a little bit back on. I'm actually discussing on few Zen stories. This is completely related to spiritual seeking and the spiritual path, uh, to find solace in the choice and the kiosk of life and everything. So far we have discussed few stories, and there is one story called the empty cup, which I think I have made a video. I will post it soon, so I'm not discussing it here. I don't want to repeat it. And so I think we have discussed 4 or 5 so far. The next story is again on moon. The title is finger pointing at the moon. So let's discuss the story. I feel a little bit interesting when it is moon, because I love moon and moon is full of energy, we all know. Hope you all are doing full moon meditations as well. It is really helpful to bring your nerves down. Okay, that being said, so once there was a student, um, and that student reached to a Zen master, and he was asking this question: what is the way to enlightenment? Then, as usual, the Zen master pointed to the moon and said, the way is like the moon. The moon is the symbol of enlightenment, but the finger pointing to the moon is not the moon. Don't be, uh, you know, um, don't be, deceived by the finger. The finger pointing to the moon is not the moon. So, um, like earlier story, the answers for spiritual questions are little sarcastic and little twisty. So what he says, what is enlightenment means, there might be different meanings. Your enlightenment definition might not fit mine might not fit somebody else's. So uh, so it, and if somebody defines it, people will focus on the definition rather than the journey or anything. So that is what I understood through my spiritual journey through couple of years now. Is that they don't define it in any form or any pattern. Any Zen master or any person who is seeking spirituality, they don't want to give a specified form or shape to anything. Not only enlightenment or not only meaning of life, they don't want to specify or box frame it, anything, because they are not into judging anything, or they feel like everything has its dual nature, just like male and female, right and wrong, good and bad, everything has its duality. Every concept has its own unique understanding, and it will change based on the person who is pursuing it. Okay, in Zen, all words and teachings are just fingers pointing to the moon. So they might say, if you take this path, you will go, you will go to Hyderabad, you will go to some other place, some other place. The road is same. Where you want to stop, what is your capacity, or what is your, you know, um, hunger towards it defines your perfect level. My I will eat this much of food, someone will eat this much of food. That is their hunger definition. But the hunger, uh, hungry, when you define what hunger is something that your body craves for. The craving varies from person to person. For me, it is this much, for somebody else, it is this much. We cannot confine the thing. So that's why whatever these Zen masters or spiritual seekers say, they are just pointers only, they are not the actual thing. And while they are useful, they are not the moon itself. The direct experience of truth is beyond any conceptual framework. So very true. I completely resonating with the answer. Okay, uh, one more story on the horse. Earlier we have seen the horse, the lost horse story. If people who are joining now haven't got to see the previous thing of this live, you can just simply slide back and see. Now let's talk about this man who lost his horse. Zen story. There was this man in a village who had a horse. Sorry, it kind of felt the same one. Sorry, it's the same one. Sorry, I am so sorry about that. Okay, the next one. Sorry for the confusion. The nature of the mind. Okay. Um, there was a village in which there was a man. He is suffering from lot of disturbed relations or whatever it may be. He's having quite a life just like everybody else. There is no big of a deal. He reached to a Zen master, and he asked this question: what is the nature of the mind? I feel even I lot of times feel my mind is my problem, my number one problem, because it is the one who always tricks me, constantly waving in between the things, in between the decisions. I don't know how many of you will agree with me. My mind is my number one thing to deal with in lot of days. I mean, I want to do something, but my mind keep on bothering me or bugging me to do something else. I don't know why that happens. It is kind of disturbing, or I don't know. That's why they call this self-control thing or something like that to have, and there are a lot of techniques to, you know, um, have control on mind or something, being mindful. When I'm doing some task, my mind keep on jumping to the other one, so random, as if somebody is rushing me, chasing me, kind of thing. Anyways, the question here is, what is the nature of your mind? The monk or the Zen replied, I don't know. Then the master said, if you do not know the nature of the mind, you can't be free from it. So definitely everybody has to know the nature of their mind. That's how you deal with it. I deal with my mind knowing when it will trip me off, like when it is, I mean, I want to eat this much amount of food, but my mind is saying, come on, grab one more bite, come on, go for some more, otherwise you become unhealthy or you become less energetic. The next task you can't, you know, complete, or some similar kind of, I mean, the mind always keep tricking you on the survival point, for sure. I mean, survival means I am here and one of my relative is somewhere else, and my mind goes and compare from my my survival to his survival, uh, and it shows a kind of threat. He is threat to you, or you are little bit less than him, so you need to run and chase for more things and get more opportunities, kind of thing. So it is very important to know the nature of the mind, then only you would be able to set your mind free and set yourself free from your mind, and in two ways. So this is something called importance of self awareness in Zen practice. I think Zen people will have certain kind of, I mean, lot of practices to have that mind body control, because mind always creates the illusion of separation, desire, attachment. Like I said, it always brings a threat in front of you and ask you to uh, you know defeat that threat. Why I'm saying this, while I was studying in my early teens, it always brings the topper in my mind while I am studying, and it asks me to, he's the topper, you are not reaching that, he is the threat to you, go fight with it. How sometimes, instead of focusing on my study, I am focusing more on defeating my threat, or overcoming my obstacle in front of me. So I don't know why it does. That is the basic human nature to, give us that motivation. But sometimes over the board is not necessary, is what I feel. I mean, sometimes if I get over threat from my mind, I cannot perform well, I cannot do well. There might be a number of threats, but I don't want to know much about it. I want to know little bit, not much about it. I don't want to say that I don't want to know about any threats, because that will bring me down my zeal or what compassion towards it. So to attain freedom, one must understand the nature of the mind and recognize its ever changing nature. That is important. It is not constant, never constant. My mind is never constant. I don't know if anybody else mind is constant. They're lucky enough, because I don't think mind is always constantly triggering the same point. It runs, it jumps from one thing to other thing, just like that. So this story, the nature of the mind, encourages all the spiritual practitioners to go beyond intellectual understanding and experience the mind directly. Definitely, if we want to go deeper about mind and how it acts, meditation really helps, because when you fix your thoughts at one point, you will come to know what is the next step your mind is thinking. So I would definitely encourage, because I'm doing meditation from past 2 years, and it is really bringing me a lot of, you know, unknown things about myself, my surroundings. My intuition has been picked up. I can sense how I'm acting, how I'm thinking. I don't believe all my thoughts, but uh, um, I don't believe all my thoughts, but I know what I am thinking. That awareness is what something you will get while in meditation, and it will happen eventually. It is not a like one day thing. You do meditation today, you get all the things. It is a very gradual process, and I encourage it to take slow. Start with 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so, whatsoever. Okay, let's move on to our next story, the true face of a moon. Um, this Zen story, the Zen master asked a monk, "What is your true face before your parents were born?" The monk was silent. The He answered, "If you answer this question, you will have understood." So the question is, what is the true face of you before your parents were born? The story asks the monk to reflect on the true nature of the self before it was shaped by society, family, or even personal experiences. It is a call to go beyond ego and conceptual thinking, to experience the original, unconditional self, the true face. This can be seen as an invitation to look at life without filters, recognizing the deep interconnectedness of all things. Okay, so the true face of the moon. Mm, so in the spirituality, I attend lot of classes, lot of satsangs, um, which are very common in United States, or I don't know about any other abroad countries other than India. I think in India also it is common. We have different kind of spiritual satsangs happening every now and then. People really feel relieved, refreshed, peaceful by attending these spiritual things. if you have time, I would encourage you to go and um, get the high energies when, because if you do meditation in group of people, you will definitely feel a lot difference than you doing individually. And so that is one thing. And here in this question, the true face of the moon, the question where the monk asked, what is the true face before your parents? I mean, you are born to certain, you are born in certain religion, certain things, you are shaped in this way. I mean, let me say my example. I'm born in certain religion, so I am like this. I mean, I am born in Hinduism, so I believe God, I do pujas, I put sticker, whatever. I'm born in a different religion, I might not be like this. But what is the true nature of your soul is what the question was. So the main and ultimate purpose of anybody is to know your true face of the moon, irrespective of religion, irrespective of whom you are born to, or irrespective of what job you are doing, what surroundings you are in. You need to find out your true religion, or I mean, your true inner connectedness is what the spirituality is all about. And we, the fancy thing, who are you, is what we all hear from a decade time of thing, this question, who are you, know who are you. So the answer is quite simple, is what I learned through my spiritual journey is, we are all interconnected in this universe, in this cosmic world. So things like corona, one thing is very much interconnected to many things. Similarly, we humans are very much connected in this universe. Even the uh, living and non-living things are so much interconnected. uh, the evolution happened in such a way, we are some lives back an animal or a cat or a dog, whatever. There is this book, a whole evolution book. If you if anyone interested, they can go and watch that book, I mean study that book, where how the animal kingdom, the sea worlds, how it got evoluted was there. And that's how we say, I mean in spirituality we say we are all interconnected. The one interconnected in what sense, if you ask in that way, your body, my body, everybody's body on this earth is made up of this ions, atoms, molecules. That combination is same in all of us. So that's why when we meditate, when we in meditation also there are a lot of mudras and everything. I don't want to bore you with that concepts, because by this time a lot of people have given enough awareness on what meditation is. But the thing how meditation will increase your energy or how it will help is one thing that I want to say, is when you don't do thing and when you stop your thoughts and sit quietly, the energy is not going outside, and it is revolving or circulating in your body, and it is giving you good kind of relief. And if you have any kind of ill health or any kind of issues, your body has some kind of power that it can heal itself to certain extent. I don't say completely it will heal your body by itself. Sometimes it requires medications, but for minor things it will heal itself if you do meditation, is what I experienced in my spiritual journey. I want everybody to, you know, experience that spiritual power. you know I take some time. I know everybody is busy. I don't want and people to stop doing what they are doing currently and do only meditation. That is not I'm recommending, but whenever you get time, just take um, few minutes to start with and do meditation and know your true face of the moon. Okay, and the next gen story, sorry, the last gen story took a very long time, but let's move on to the next gen story. The whole reason of me putting this live and saying all these gen stories to check my mind, my thoughts, and refresh it, and how the answers the gen master is providing, I want to process it, and I want to revalidate how I would answer and how the gen masters are answering, and I just want to see the deviation in the answers, and I just want to correct myself. I just want putting it if somebody else is interested, because I got to know spirituality through sessions like this. So I just want to let other people who are struggling, I don't say struggling, I mean there is some kind of what you say, completeness is missing, uh, was missing in my life while I got this direction. I hope if somebody is having that incomplete, sorry, incompleteness or something, some mental peace. I mean, a lot of people feel this way, like they might have a lot of all the things in their life, but they kind of lack some peace, which is really important, which that energy is really important to drive you in a full swing. Okay, that being said, let me move to the story, the master and the river. Again, there is a monk who asked his master, what is the way to liberation? The master said, go to the river and fetch me some water. The monk, who is a very good disciple of this Zen master, went to the river, but when he returned, he found that the master had already passed away. The monk sat down by the river, weeping. Oh my God, my master! He just asked me water, but by the time I go and bring the water, he already passed away. So after some time, he suddenly understood the water had always been in the river. The river had always been flowing. Liberation was not somewhere to be fetched, it was here in the flow of the life itself. Um, so oftentimes, yeah, that is what the story is. The question is, what is the way to liberation? The answer is the liberation is already there. There is no need to fetch the way or path to liberation. Liberation is already there in everybody's life, but some or the other reason people are limiting rather than liberating. Understand these two meanings, limiting and liberating. Um, so don't limit yourself or your thoughts or your, if you want to do something, go ahead and give it a try. Do try and just liberate yourself from that thought rather than limiting the thought, thinking about the positives, negatives. You can think till certain extent. You you can't keep on thinking and not doing anything about it. So the story teaches that liberation is not something which is separated or which is something separate from us. It is in the every flow of life. Searching for it outside of oneself is like trying to carry water from the river, unaware that it is already all around you. True wisdom comes one realizes that liberation is not a goal to be achieved, but a liberation of what already is. There is a other way of saying this. I have studied it somewhere. There is this person who is traveling on the boat, okay, and he was dying with thirsty. Understood? He is in the river. He is in the middle of the river where there is a plenty of water, but he died with thirsty. That's the inner meaning of this story, which is a master and the river. So the water is there, the liberation is there. All that is needed is just for you to wake up and get see it and start liberating yourself, rather than weeping about something that it is not there. Even enlightenment, everything is already there, but somehow I don't know who created that thing, like know yourself or something like that, uh, get awareness or something. Everything is there, just you need to see it the way you have to see. You're not seeing it properly, that's the thing. And let me I think we are almost at the top of the hour. I don't let me I think have spent, I'm so much happy that I have spent a lot of time today. I wanted to post a lot of Zen stories, but somehow, as I said, we are into winter now, not getting the cold is too much, and my health or somebody in my family are getting sick, and I was not able to dedicate a good amount of time. So that is the reason I thought, like, I want to use this live platform which I have it to say these Jen stories, so that I will get refreshed, and um, um, people who don't know spirit. I mean, I see this notion, like, whenever I say spirituality, people think it is for something very of higher age or something like that. But nowadays it is changing because of lot of corporate spirituality homes coming in, like lot of things in Sadhgurus, Isha or whatever. A lot of people of younger generation are also coming into meditation, into the spiritual path, is really a good sign. And I will encourage for sure for all the youth, younger generations. There is no limit as such. I see people from 5 years doing and practicing spiritualities, and in lot of Asian, Hong Kong, Singapore, China, even the little kids do meditation, and they're so good at it. I don't know why there is a lot of backward, at least for my generation. Thankfully, I got to know, but a lot of my friends or someone who are still unaware there is such thing called meditation, and we need to it will be good for us if we do it. Okay. Yeah, this is the last story, and I will wrap it up with this story. The illusion of the self. A Zen master was. The story's title is The Illusion of the Self. The Zen master is sitting by the river, um, and then one of his disciplined student, asked him, "Master, where does the river end?" The master replied, "The river has no end. It flows without beginning or end." But if the river has no end, how can it have a source? The student asked the master this way. If the river doesn't have an end, how can it have a starting point? The master answered, "The source of river is beyond the river itself." Okay, the source of the river is beyond the river itself. The story, really, I think the master is answering in terms of in terms of you know, source of the river is beyond the river itself, right? mm, so it is I think it is he's interpreting this way, the human source, I mean, there is this uh, supreme thing. I mean, the river is nothing but the flow of the life. If you take life, right, life and the river is synonymous. I mean, he is interpreting in that way, the flow of the river and the life flow. Just like the river, it will have ups, downs, it will take its path. Even the life, you know, it will have its own path, constantly changing. And the main thing of water is, if you pour the water in a cup, it will take the shape of the cup. If the pour water in a glass, it will take the shape of the glass. So it is constantly changing. Your life is also being consigned with a lot of external parameters. So just like water, if you pour it in a glass, it will take the shape of the glass. Just your life also, based on the surrounding situation, it will get it's different it will take different directions. So nature of the self is seen as a continuous self. I mean, everybody, they acknowledge or not, I don't know, they change themselves, little bit of themselves. I mean, just compare yourself with yourself from the past 10 years, okay? The 10 years back version of you and the current version of you will not be the same. I guarantee you. You might like something 10 years back, now you might not know what that something is. I mean, it just got deviated. Lot of example, you can cross check yourself. I have checked myself, definitely not same. I used to like something which I'm not liking it anymore, because I evolved, I changed, my dimension has been changed. So similarly, the self nature is a continuous flow, interconnected with many surrounding things. I mean, these changes happened because of some other person coming into your life, or some person leaving your life. I don't know. I mean, there might be a lot of reasons. There is no clear cut boundary of yourself. Okay, you are just expanding your perspective. A lot of people keep changing. You are changing your perspective, which is not correct. You're not changing it, you're just expanding it. You're expanding the way you're seeing the things, is what similarly, enlightenment is something we attain at certain point, but something we realize to be ever present. It is already there, like just like I have said, um, uh, enlightenment or liberation or uh, all these terms are already existed, but just the way you need to reach it, and you will definitely see. And it is always present in this universe. It is present, it is present in you, it is present in every person on this, every person under the sun. Okay, so that is the last story of this live session, the illusion of this self. I mean, it is like a illusion. The 10 years back version seems an illusion, means something, it's a false image, right? So you feel that is the final version, but now it changed. It keeps on changing. It is just like a water, just like a river flowing from just like a water flowing in the river. It changes its direction, it changes its path, flow, speed, right? So that is what it is. I think we are on top of the hour. um, Once again, do practice spirituality. I'm not forcing anyone here, just I just want to share something which I got to know 2 years back, and I feel, why didn't I know earlier, in my early teens, where I was taking a lot of stress. I would have performed well if that was not there, or very clear cut answers to lot of things. And I do encourage reading lot of books, spiritually or whatever, and involve your near and dear ones, because peace is need of the hour. I somehow feel peace is lacking in a lot of places. Peace is really necessary. I mean, when things, you know, when people are gathering, I see, this is something which I want to share. I don't, it will take hardly 2 minutes. So, I see a lot of social gatherings, people are trying to mock other people by the looks or by the status or whatever. I somehow feel they are lacking some clarity of what they are doing or how they are treating other people. So once they come to spiritual thing, they want to, they will know the things we can say to others. I mean, if you are hurting someone else, means you are hurting yourself in the first place. That is something which I realized in this spirituality. I mean, earlier it was like, you know, teasing other people is fun, laughing is fun. You can laugh without teasing also. There is that beautiful thing, you can laugh at any time, anywhere. But just cracking something on others and laughing for it is not a nice way to do. And you're just a reflection of him. If you're saying something to him, means you're saying it to yourself, is what I learned in the spirituality. Definitely everybody who do meditation on a regular basis will have that level of, higher dimension energies, and they never involve in any such kind of activities. I see a lot of, harm, killing, you know all those things will also reduce. Something is lacking. I'm putting it on spirituality. There might be a number of reasons, but I kind of feel so much sane and peace in this practice, and I feel so confident. That being said, I'm just closing. There are a lot of videos in my channel. If you haven't watched, please go ahead and watch it. And thank you so much for being patient with me today. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the weekend, and I will see you very soon. Bye.